Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of Class 12 Arts, and today we would proceed with the same topic, that is ASEAN, which is also known as Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So in the previous class we read about its foundation and the countries that were involved along with the names of the foreign ministers. After that, we read about ASEAN flag and its importance. We also read about the joint developmental programs or development programs that was first taken by ASEAN. After that, we read about the aims and purposes of the ASEAN, under which there were 7 points. And lastly, we read about the fundamental principles that was actually followed by the ASEAN member countries by signing the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in the year 1976. So today we will start from another topic related to ASEAN, that is the goals of ASEAN. So regarding goals, we have already studied about what are the goals. So to give a brief note of the goals of ASEAN, that is again subdivided into 2 points. What are the 2 goals of ASEAN? Number 1 is to accelerate the economic growth, social progress and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors. That means what? First goal, according to the first goal, they will try to accelerate. That means they will try to move on in a rapid pace regarding what? Its economic growth also, its social progress also, and along with this economic growth and social progress, they would also further proceed with the cultural development. And where they will follow these 3 things? In their region or in the 10 member countries of the ASEAN. After that, the second goal of ASEAN is that to promote regional peace and stability based on the rule of law and the principles of United Nations Charter. So if they are successful in fulfilling or accelerating the economic growth, social progress and cultural development, after that they will try to promote what? Regional peace and stability based on the rule of law and principles of the United Nations Charter. So it means that while following or while establishing the regional peace in that ASEAN region, they will try to follow it through the rule of law and the principles which is being mentioned in the United Nations Charter. So as a whole, this is the conclusion part related to the goals of ASEAN. Whatever we have read about the ASEAN, starting from here, as you can see, to accelerate economic growth. So these are all what the goals of nation is again being subdivided into the conclusion part, which gives us what? These 2 points related to the goals. After that, we would further proceed to another important topic related to ASEAN, that is the 3 pillars of ASEAN, which is very much important. And related to these 3 pillars of ASEAN, sometimes the question comes in a descriptive way also, or you can say in the MCQ type also. So this is the most important part related to the topic ASEAN. So regarding the 3 pillars of ASEAN, in 2003 the group agreed on the pursuit of 3 pillars or communities. That means ASEAN, after its formation, and if you remember, they again signed the Treaty of Amity, which was in the year 1976. After that, in 2003, they agreed to do what? They agreed to establish 3 pillars of communities. Related to what? That means ASEAN will be on top and ASEAN will be subdivided into 3 pillars. First one will be related to the security purpose. So the first pillar will be known as what? ASEAN Security Community. Then the second pillar will be related to its economic growth, whatever the acceleration related to economic growth was there. So The second pillar would be formed on the basis of that only, ASEAN Economic Community. And the third pillar will be known as ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. So these three are only known as the three pillars of ASEAN, which was actually formed in the year 2003. That means all the member countries, 10 member countries of ASEAN agreed to form these three pillars or communities. Namely, number 1 is ASEAN Security Community, number 2 is ASEAN Economic Community, and number 3 is ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. So let's move on to read the first pillar elaborately, that is ASEAN Security Community. This is the first pillar of the ASEAN. So about ASEAN Security Community, it is based on the conviction that outstanding territorial disputes should not escalate into armed confrontation. That means what? You suppose assume that if the member countries of the ASEAN are 10 in number, so based on that only, if they have any territorial disputes, so what they should do? They should do it, or they should try to resolve it in a peaceful way. And that should not turn into a hot war or into a real war. That means what? That should not be converted into armed confrontation. Clear? So the first point about security community is that they will try to resolve it in a peaceful way, not on the basis of war. Then number 2 point related to security community is that the ASEAN Regional Forum, ARF, which was established in 1994, is the organization that carries out coordination of security and foreign policy. That means the ARF, which is known as ASEAN Regional Forum, that was actually formed way before forming the three pillar. That was in the year 1994. So this ASEAN Regional Forum actually comes under the security community now. And what is the main duty related to the ASEAN Security Community? The ASEAN Regional Forum actually carries out coordination of security also and foreign policy also. These two things the ARF does, and under its head, which is known as ASEAN Security Community. That means what? The two main things related to ASEAN Security Community is that it will not try to end disputes through war, but through peaceful walk or peaceful way. Secondly, the ARF is there, which is also known as the ASEAN Regional Forum, which was actually established way before the formation of three pillars of ASEAN in 1994. This will actually work under whom? Security community. And the two things that the ARF will do will what? It will carry out smooth coordination of security and foreign policy. That means it will look after the security purpose also, and it will look after the foreign policy also. Clear? So these 2 points were regarding the ASEAN Security Community. After that comes ASEAN Economic Community. So related to ASEAN Economic Community, it is to create a common market and production base within ASEAN states and to add social and economic development in the region. So as by the term or the word only, you can understand that whatever this second pillar is all about, it is related to the economy. So related to its economic community, what it will do, it will try to create a common market. That means a common market for all, and production base also within ASEAN state. That means within 10 ASEAN states, this ASEAN community, economic community, will try to create a common market for all these 10 member countries. Along with common market, they will also try to create production base also. So if they are successful in creating this common market and production base within their 10 member states, this will help what? This will actually help giving social and economic development in the region. Clear? So the main work related to ASEAN community is that it will create common market and production base, and if they are successful in creating this, it will actually give help or assistance in creating what? It will help in creating social development also and economic development also within these 10 member countries or in the ASEAN region. So number 2 is that ASEAN has focused on creating a free trade area FTA for investment, labor and services. That means along with creating common market and production base, it will also try to create a free trade area which is also known as FTA. That means you are free to do trade or business within that 10 regions or within the 10 member countries. And when they will create a free trade area, they will create it on the basis of what? Investment also. You are free to invest. Then there is a freeness to for the labor also and services also. So while creating the free trade area, they will put their efforts for free investment also wherever they want. And in related to labor also, they are free to move that labor within that 10 member countries, and along with that they can also give services. So this free trade area will be based on 3 platforms actually: free investment, free labor and free services within the 10 ASEAN region. Clear? So this was about the ASEAN Economic Community. After that, in order to understand this free trade area more elaborately, I have prepared one slide so that you should not be confused over this free trade area, which is telling, actually it is analyzing free trade area for investment, labor and services. So we need to know it in an elaborative way. So ASEAN Free Trade Area, what it is? It was launched in January 1992. Clear? So when I talk about free trade area, it will promote what? What is the duty or functions of free trade area? Let us look. The number 1 function is eliminating tariff barriers among the Southeast Asian regions. Clear? Whatever the tariff are there, whatever the surcharges are there, whatever the tariff they are imposing on each other, this free trade area will actually do what? This free trade area will eliminate. That means it will remove all the tariff, whatever the money or whatever the financial things they are taking, this will be removed under free trade area. And this will be done in case of where? All the Southeast Asian regions, if we can see here, starting from Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, Brunei of Malaysia, Singapore. So this will be, free trade area will be, actually it will be included here. It will be followed in the whole of Southeast Asia. Clear? So it will eliminate, first function, it will eliminate tariff barriers. No tariff will be there, no one can collect that. Now number 2 is integrating the ASEAN economies into a single production base. That means, as it has been told earlier, that it will try to create a common market and production base. So number 2 is about that only, that it will integrate the ASEAN economies. Whole of ASEAN 10 member countries, they will create a single production base also and a free economic market also. You can see here, they will try to create, number 1 point, they will try to create common market and production base, and it will be single for all. Clear? After that, number 3 point is under free trade area is creating a regional market for over 500 million people. So they will also try to create what if you suppose assume that 10 member countries are there under ASEAN. So you assume the population of the 10 member countries is 500 million. So this ASEAN free trade area will ensure what? It will ensure, and it will try to create a regional market. That means for the 10 member countries, which comprises of around, you assume 500 million people, that regional market will be applicable, or that will be exclusively for this 10 member countries people, which may be around 500 million people. Clear? After that, number 4 is ASEAN cooperation has resulted in greater regional integration. Clear? So whatever these 3 functions are there regarding the ASEAN free trade area, number 1 is it will eliminate tariff barriers. That means no dues, no collection of money, no tariff will be there, it will be eliminated under free trade area. The number 2, it will turn the Asian economy into a single production base and common market will be set up. The number 3 is it will have a regional market for these 10 member countries. So if these 3 functions they are doing it under the free trade area, this will ensure what? This will ensure or result in greater regional integration. Clear? That means that regional integration will be there between these 10 member countries. So within 3 years from the launching of AFTA, that means ASEAN Free Trade Area, remember it was launched in January 1992. So within 3 years from the launching of AFTA, exports among ASEAN countries grew from US $43.26 billion in 1993 to almost USD 80 billion in 1996. So you can see here that it within 3 years only from the date of formation or establishment, which was around 43.26, it suddenly jumped to USD 80 billion. So you can say here that 37 billion in just 3 years. That means 37 USD billion dollars it jumped in just 3 years. So that means what? It was ASEAN free trade area was actually very much successful. Clear? So this was all about this ASEAN free trade area that was to be given in an elaborative way. So today I would like to conclude my topic here only. So in today's topic we read about the goals of ASEAN as a conclusion. So objective type question may come that mention 2 goals of ASEAN. So you would write in this way only about the goals of ASEAN. After that we read about 3 pillars of ASEAN, which was ASEAN Security Community, Economic Community and Socio-Cultural Community. So today we have completed the 2 communities, that is the first 2, Security Community and Economic Community. In the next class we will start from Socio-Cultural Community. So under the first pillar, ASEAN Security Community, we read about its functions and its establishment, how it works. After that we also read about the second pillar, that is ASEAN Economic Community, under which one point again came, that was FTA, that means ASEAN Free Trade Area, which was again we read about this ASEAN Free Trade Area in an elaborative way in order to understand actually, because ASEAN has actually created this free trade area for free investment, free labor and free services within the 10 member countries. So in order to understand the free trade area more elaborately, I prepared a slide and we read about that. Clear? So I hope that whatever the points I have made you understand today, it is now clear to you. So in the next class I will start from ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. Clear? So I will conclude my topic here only. Thank you.